If you're not aware of when you're masking or how you're masking, then you won't know when you've suddenly dropped your mask. Hello, and welcome to Somewhere on the Spectrum. I want to talk about something that came up in a meeting recently. In the meeting, we were talking about being misunderstood at work and at school, places like that. We were talking about being misunderstood and how difficult that was. And we kind of got into this cause and effect challenge. And so that's the little bit that I kind of want to talk about today. A lot of us are high masking. We may not all mask. So be aware that in the neurodiverse community, there are some people that mask, there are some people that don't mask, there are some people that mask really well, there are some people that mask, but it doesn't really quite fit. And for many of us, there is a limit to how far our mask can go. So it may be that your mask is great, amazing, until you're really tired, or until you're really stressed out, or until you're heading towards a meltdown, or until you meet your mother or your grandmother or your cousin or the person that just really winds you up. The problem with this is that we are portraying a person and then suddenly we're not portraying a person. And depending how tired, stressed, upset we are, we might not be able to notice that, especially if you're really early in this journey and you're not really aware of when you're masking or how you're masking yet, which definitely is a thing, then you definitely won't know when you've suddenly dropped your mask. Then we run into a problem. We were specifically talking about asking for help. We're not very good at asking for help. There is a challenge within our community. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, for sure, but we're very often very, very independent people, and we really don't like asking for help. We're very happy to help other people. Very often we're super helpful, but we are not good at asking for help ourselves. So the question was around like, how have we come to this? Why is it so difficult? And I was saying that I think part of it is back to that rejection sensitivity, that at some point we asked for help and we didn't get the help, or we were told that we didn't deserve it, didn't need it, we were making it up. And that creates this feedback loop of it's dangerous to ask for help, or you don't really need the help, so there's no point asking for it, all this kind of thing. And it can be very messed up. And a lot of it can have happened when you were very young. So it can be very subconscious as well. It can take quite a while to dig this stuff up. And I do think it's worth digging it up because ultimately it's not correct information. A lot of our rejection sensitivity is protecting us from something that happened in the past. And if we keep using it going into the future, it's not a protection anymore. It doesn't know how to protect us actually. So we have to evaluate each situation on its individual merits rather than expecting it all to be the same as everything that happened before. I say this, I do recognize that's far easier said than done. I know, but I do think it's worth digging into, at least when you have those moments and then you're like afterwards reviewing it, because you know you will, because rumination. Instead of your rumination being just pointless, endless rumination, try to make it useful rumination. Instead of just beating yourself up, why did I say that? Why did I do this? Try and go back and think about, okay, step by step, what actually did happen? What did they actually say? What did their faces actually look like? What did I say? What did my face look like? How might I have been received in that moment, so that you can actually try and analyze what was going on, and maybe even go back if you trust the person and ask them, what did they think was going on? How did they feel in that situation? So that you can get a more accurate read on what's actually happening in that situation, because you might find that it's not what you think it is. So one of the things that we got to was asking for help and being in quite a dire situation, in the sense that you're like totally overwhelmed and you really desperately need help at work or backup or something, and people not providing you with the help. And when you say why, they say, but you're fine, or you're calm, cool, and collected under pressure. You can handle it. And you think, am I? That's not my experience. So what's happening then, I think, is that we are panicking and it's not showing up on our face. And this could be for two reasons. It could be because you're still successfully holding up your mask, which is doing a nice little, I'm fine, everything's fine kind of face. Or it could be that you have dropped the mask. You are overwhelmed, can no longer uphold the mask. And instead you have reverted back to your autistic resting bitch face or something similar, could just be blank face. And your blank face is read as that person is fine. If you think about it, most neurotypical people wear their panic on their faces, right? Their face is like something happened. If your face isn't doing that, they may not believe the words that come out of your mouth. Even if you've told them, please believe my words, don't just look at me, believe what I say. The neurotypical world is set up to not trust what you're saying at all. They're set up for the opposite to the way that we communicate. We communicate in words because our faces can be unpredictable, and they communicate in body language first, words second, and often words last. And there is an expectation that the words won't match their face. Taken case in point. Hi, how are you? I'm fine, thanks, and you? And somebody died that morning or something like that. They're faking it, faking everything. And we're not good at faking it. So we'll say, please help me. But if our face has gone blank because we're panicking, they may not read that situation. And so we are misunderstood. And in our misunderstanding, we feel rejection sensitivity. Like, I asked for help and you're not helping me. Why are you ignoring me? Or why are you telling me that I'm fine? Or why are you telling me that I'm making it up? I'm clearly panicking. Why aren't you doing anything? And it's literally like a communication deficiency between us. That's the problem. I can't solve this problem. Obviously, I can't solve this problem. The point of this video is really just to highlight that I think that this could be a problem. So if you are having situations like this at work, at school, in your life, with your family, with your friends, definitely it is worth telling people, please listen to my words, not judge my face by how I am. But unfortunately, you can't expect that they're actually gonna do that when it matters. Sucks. I think for that reason, if it's someone close to you, like you're in a relationship with, I think it's important that you discuss this with them after the fact, where you say, you know how I told you that I needed you to trust my words, not my face? That situation, do you remember what I said? Yeah, this is what was actually happening, and you dismissed it because you looked at my face rather than my words. Know this and figure it out for next time. And if you're working with someone who gets you and cares about you, then hopefully they will help you come up with a plan as to how you can figure this out together. Unfortunately, work is probably not that place. I hope it is. I really, really hope you're working in a delightful place and everybody's lovely, but it's probably going to be high expectations for it to work out. The main thing I think is that we have to look after ourselves. We have to try hard not to beat ourselves up when we failed to effectively communicate something, because it probably wasn't our fault. I think it can really help to pay attention after the fact, probably in the beginning, but eventually maybe during to start paying attention to what's happening, so that we start to understand, oh, I've dropped my mask, or oh, my face doesn't match, so that we can say that. You know, I remember Hannah Gadsby interview with Stephen Colbert where she literally said, oh, I forgot to tell my face how I feel. And he looked at her like she was a little crazy, but that's exactly what was happening. And using that kind of language that makes the neurotypical person go, what? It reminds them, oh, yeah, she's autistic. That's what this looks like. So you're forcing them in that moment to acknowledge your autism. And I think a lot of times they don't want to acknowledge our autism. They want to pretend like everything's fine and they don't have to do anything and they don't have to change anything. So sometimes just being able to say, I forgot to tell my face how I feel, or something similar, is what you need to say to remind them, I'm autistic. I don't work the same way as you. I can't promise that's going to fix the problem, but yeah. Anyway, the key point is you're not alone. If you're having this problem, you're definitely not alone. You are part of the gang. If you like this video, found it useful, please like and subscribe. Drop a comment if this is happening to you. If you have found like the right phrase to get people to recognize what's going on, or to get people to pay attention or say the right thing, whatever, please drop that in the comments and share it with us. And if you have situations like this where you think, oh, maybe that's what's happening, again, please share it with us. It's really, really helpful. If you would like to join me over on Patreon, you are always welcome. You can buy my course, or you can connect with me if you would like to have a session with me, half an hour or 1 hour, to help you figure out where you are and where your autism is impacting your life. You're very welcome to do that. You don't have to join Patreon to do that. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you next time.